For the readers who were not there last year or who don't know you, Guido, a quick introduction, please.
I'm Guido Dieteren, a Dutch orchestra leader who combines several disciplines of music industry. I'm a violin soloist, I'm conductor, composer, producer, and also CEO of my own company. So many hats on one head. And I'm a young, ambitious musician who just made a choice to be in the music industry because I always want to make my own musical choices. I don't want that there's somebody who tells me what to do, what I need to play, and so I made the decision quite early in my career when I still was the first violinist of André Rieu during my studies at the conservatorium in Maastricht, and yes, it went quite well, but it's also a way. It's I would say a road. It's also a bumpy road sometimes, where you get a lot of lessons, and especially lessons also in doing business, in international business, and that's not so easy when you're a musician, because you're raised and tutored to be a musician and not a businessman.
Yeah.
And so I'm orchestra leader. I'm producing my own CDs, DVDs. I'm doing this worldwide, and in the discipline pop meets classic. It's crossover music, so always a pop band in combination with a classical orchestra. So for younger people, it's classical music what they love because a pop band is involved, and for older people, it's pop music
with the class.
with classical touch.
Both worlds.
Yes, the best of both worlds, and really family production. So grandparents take their children and the grandchildren, and that's really the trick of our production. So we are no trendsetter, but we are really innovative in making this combination and using this for really huge audiences.
Yeah. So a very all-round person in that sense.
Absolutely, we play Bach, Mozart, but also pop rock music. So you also can expect me with a leather trouser and boots on stage and electric violin. So, or doing a battle with Slager van Kampen, the most famous percussion group of the Benelux. But also maybe one day play with rock stars, or rock meets classic, or it's I'm open for anything what's good and anything what's touching me in my heart.
So I saw behind you is a picture of you, and I think that's Lionel Richie, right?
Yes, great guy, really inspiring, and I call it a big boy in a toys shop. So he's experiencing life as one big game, and he's so genius. And working with the big ones, you know that they are genius, and they're also you have two kinds of persons, but he's the one who's really loose and relaxed, because he always know that he's surrounded by great professionals. Then you can be really relaxed. Diana Ross, for example, is the opposite. She's a control freak and really a great diva, but also in control of everything she's doing. But that's also Jan Smeets of Pink Pop here, for example. That's Joop van den Ende, the big musical CEO. John de Mol, the big guy from
They're
TV.
all control freaks?
All control freaks. And so I'm also control freak.
You're also
yes, but that's...
But it was fun to work with someone who has a different view.
Yes, that's good. I'm always surrounded by people who are better in their discipline than me. So always surround yourself with the best people. They learn you a lot, and they with them you never experience one dull moment. So you need to have competition in life. So I'm always also with auditions, doing auditions for only the best musicians who are also getting the highest grades on for the final examinations. Why? Because I want to be surrounded with soloists. That's my orchestra. They're all soloists. They're all having the highest A grades on music university, or they're winning competitions in the country and come here for the master degrees here to the Netherlands. And that's for me a way of keeping myself in training, keeping myself motivated. That I know there's a new generation.
Yeah.
Well, more fresh, more eager, and more willing to give everything they know.
Yeah. Speaking of conservatory, how did you get started in music, and how did you make the switch from music to also being a business person in that sense?
I'm the fourth generation orchestra leaders. So my great grandfather was orchestra leader, my grandfather and my father. I never was pushed towards the music industry or to have a musical career because I was doing a lot of sports. My mom always told me to do a lot of sports. She's also working upstairs at the offices, and it was a free choice, and the choice what I really sensed in my heart. So I never was pushed by my parents, but it's really clear that you have a big advantage when you're raised in a musical family. And one day I realized, I was really young at age 16, that when you want to be independent in your heart and your mind, you must control also the decision, anything you do and you play. So that means that you can work for a boss or can work in co-productions, but be also your own boss in the choices you make. And then I had a dream to gain some working experience. So I worked as first finalist at Honorary Productions. I was paying so also my master classes worldwide. I needed to earn some money because I landed already 10,000 guilders in the time from my parents, and I wanted to pay them back. So I started to combine my full-time studies with my full-time employment with Honorary Productions, and I played 250 gigs a year, and then 200 with Andre, 50 myself, and studying full-time. So that was a great thing that you have to negotiate then with the CEO of the conservatory and tell him, come on, I'm already working so much, skip my theoretically exams, or skip this, or can I do the 6 exams in just 2 oral exams, and that's what I did. I was negotiating with the board of the conservatory to
make sure that these were compatible.
Yes, absolutely, and that I got my final exams and everything arranged, but that I had already more benefit of using all the time I had. And that was not being there with colleague students who were just students, but working with professionals already.
World.
Yes.
And would you say that the one support the other?
Absolutely. But the conservatory still has to make one big step. The course of or the degree of musical entrepreneurship is taking 6 hours. So the only thing you learn is that you need a business card. That's the only thing. So that's really not good developed in the world, and that's also a role what we are discussing now with the state government and also with the provincie Limburg. It's to be more also a mentor or a production company who also is there for young, talented entrepreneurs or young, talented musicians.
In the sense of training them or helping them once they're done with their studies?
Both. Taking them on the big stages, letting them on the big stages, helping them with production process of producing CDs, introducing them to media, all the full circle of management, and also giving them budgets also, and not just we as a company, but also together with the province or some founders or some sponsorships, just giving them a chance to be cultural ambassadors of the future. And that's what we are going to do. It's a plan we are working on right now, and we see that's the future.
Yes, I think it could be quite hard for a student just coming out of conservatory to know how to get a subsidy or to how to.
They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, and you have to stick out. You have to stand out. That's the right word, I believe. You have to be unique in your kind, so you have to find your unique qualities. And still, every day we're working on our skills, technical skills, musical skills, being innovative, having new arrangements, building your arrangements free of copyrights, that you can play all the things you want worldwide. That there's no restriction of playing it. And that's a thing I'm learning every day. And I want to share this with young musicians because I'm still young, but I know now so much thanks to everything I learned myself. But there was nobody in conservatory who could learn me these things.
You mentioned that you really have to stick out.
Yes.
I was having a talk with a friend of mine. He's on the conservatory right now.
Yes. What's he playing? Pianist.
Pianist, yes. Tal Walker, great guy. But we were talking about André specifically. He was performing in Maastricht yesterday.
Yes.
And he was having a discussion with someone, and one part in the discussion said to become successful as a musician, you have to be really good at playing music.
Mm-hmm.
And the other says you don't need to be that good, you just need to be very good at marketing and performance. What is your opinion on these?
Both of them. You need both of them. André it's a really great example of being good marketing, but also have a unique selling point. He's the king of waltz and a personification of Johann Strauss in the 21st century. Mm-hmm. So he's there as a great, good-looking guy for the older women. He's entertaining them, it's really charming, having a good, cozy product, and bringing something what nobody was doing before him. So it's a unique selling point. And that the artistic quality is less than the Vienna Symphonic, that the main audience he's targeting, they don't hear the difference. They don't hear the difference. For them, it's great music, it's cozy, because he's not there for the purists who go to Concertgebouw, Vienna Philharmonic, Berlin Philharmonic. He's there for the main audience who's normally listening to pop radio.
The rest of the world.
Yes, they think that's music for the millions. That's what he do, and that's a unique selling point. So you have a unique selling point and good marketing. When you combine those two, then you have a great product. So the unique selling point can be that you are, as Lang, the great pianist, the Chinese pianist, that you're winning all the competitions in the world at a young age. Then you have a unique selling point that you're really as good as he is, and he's a Chinese, so he's supported by millions of Chinese people worldwide. When he plays in London, the hall is full of Chinese people because they're proud of him. And so when you're great at what you're doing, and André is great at what he's doing for music for the millions, and you combine this with marketing, Lang the pianist is doing exactly the same with Sony Classics, his marketing partner, then you have the unique combination. That's what we do now also in the next years. Have a great unique selling point, pop meets classic, doing this worldwide with great marketing partners, and the quality it's the quality of the production is good. So when the quality is good, then you don't lose already your target audience that they say, oh, it's a lousy production. So quality must be good. But when your targeted audience are the people who don't care how good it is, but they just want to be amused, then it's fantastic what André is doing, and nobody can do his job better than he's doing with this king of waltz of the 21st century.
Yeah, a brand.
He's a brand. Yeah, he's a brand. Yeah, nobody can copy him.
So, what would you suggest a person from the conservatory, done with their bachelor's, master's, whichever, where do they start if they want to start for themselves? Because right now, as you say, the training is not very extensive.
No. They already must earn their first points during the study. Don't wait till you're done with studies, because there's only one way of gaining experience, that's on the concert stage. So take every reasonable gig you can get. Any offer there is, if it's playing for older people in old people's houses, or in medical centers, or in doing some coffee concerts, or playing in the churches, gain as much experience as you can, because then you're learning it. You're not learning it back at the classroom of your professor. So you must gain experience. It's like being a pilot of a big airplane. You learn by flying miles after miles. Then you're learning the job. That's the same for a classical or a pop musician. Playing as much as you can, and always try to improve yourself and play with people who are better than you are, because then your level is getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I think that's a chess saying, isn't it? Always play people. Always play a person who's better than you are.
Yeah, absolutely, because there are always people who are better than you. And when you don't think that you are the god who's the only one there on the planet, then your ego is too big for this world.
So then 2 questions. How do you find these people who are better than you are, and how do you convince them to work with you? And how in general do you find these gigs?
The universe works really simple. And you give the energy and the energy comes back to you. It's action reaction. That's the universe. So when you stand out already, that you're working really hard, playing in churches, then people will come to you. So you make the first move. You call people and say, hey, can you use somebody who plays the violin, plays drums, or plays guitar? I want to play there. I don't mind how much money I get paid. Give me 25 euros or 50 euros, I don't mind. But be there, gain experience, and the best experience and best advertisement is to play really well and touch people in their hearts. Then you see, you give the energy, energy comes back. People tell this story. Tell the story, I heard a great guy playing. I heard a great jazz trio playing. I heard a great orchestra. Book them or watch them on the internet. Make advertisement. Tape everything you do. Put it on YouTube or to DAO in China, or I don't mind, the social media. Show the people that you are there, because nobody can know that you're there when you don't show yourself. So the first impulse of everything you're experiencing in life should be in yourself. And then make it clear to the people that you're there in the world. So when you're ready for the job, make the first steps and gain experience, and then also think about business opportunities. Make business plan, make business proposals, make proposals for sponsorships. So you have to, we all have a left side and right side of the brain, and the creative side can work also with the non-creative side and make a combination. And that's what I'm doing. It's you can train both parts of your brain, and not just one side of your brain. That's what most musicians are doing. So
actively engage.
Actively engage.
Find.
And think always about Newton, the universe action reaction. So any wish you have, any ambition you have, when you're working for it, you're seeing it, you're believing in it, and then one day it is your reality. That's what I was doing. 1 year ago I had the ambition to play in China. Now already I played half a year ago for 50,000 spectators, my own shows in Shanghai. That's 5 times Ahoy in the Netherlands. So it's happening, but you have to believe in it. So somebody contacted me. She was also involved, a promoter in China. She was they're involved with James Last. He was king of Happy Sounds. He was really huge in the 70s and 80s. He's not touring anymore, but he wanted a modern pop orchestra. And then they approached us. We didn't have a big name, but because you're there in the market, you're talking to the people, share them your ambition that you want to play in China and that you want to play full halls. Tell them your price. Tell them also that you're expensive, because when you're not expensive, why should this guy be good?
Yeah.
So and then it happened. It was really great, and it helped us a lot. And now we're talking about Japan and Australia, not in Germany next year, and everything is possible. That was also the slogan of my presentation. Everything is possible. So don't talk about impossible. Or what DSM was telling us, nothing is impossible. That was the slogan of DSM. It was a really bad slogan, because everything is possible.
It's possible, yeah.
Yes.
It's double negative.
Yes. So believe in your chances and be there and make many hours, and so make the combination of 50% putting energy in your creative process, 50% in marketing and business conversations. That's what I'm doing.
And what do you think is more important, regardless of whether you play a gig in a church or whether you play it on a big stage? Being good at the music you play, or deciding the right music to play?
It's no choice. It's both of them. So you need to make good repertoire choice. So never play a game what you can't win. So when I'm, for example, invited to play in Rock Meets Classic, where all the heavy metal fans will show up, then when I'm playing Mozart, I won't and I'm playing it great, I won't have success. So when you're selling products to younger people, you must have products what really fits to the younger target audience. So don't give them something like old people's cookies or pastries or something, or something about laundry, or so you always have the right product for the right audience. So do your research. So when I know that a customer is calling us, a company is calling us, we want a big concert. One of the questions we ask them, what's your target audience?
Mm-hmm.
What's the average age of your audience? And then we, without changing ourselves, we make a little move to being more modern or being more old-fashioned in our programming. So you must be really also flexible. It's like the Dutch national team. Why they didn't succeed at the European Championships? Because they couldn't adjust their way of playing. And when you don't make progress, when you are still, and when you don't make a move for 2 years in your tactics or in your system, then the competitors, they will take over the initiative and they will beat you. That's the same in music industry. You always have to make new music, like Madonna. She's changing herself every decade. That's great.
It's also great to be in business in decades.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's possible. I'm now already also for more than a decade in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is that now I'm always talking to shareholders and big people who really made serious steps.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, I had to be lucky to be invited to be somewhere in the series. And I never saw the CEO of the company or something else. Or I would be lucky to play in churches 10 years ago. And now I'm playing on the main stages. And still, a lot of work needs to be done.
Would you say that your repertoire, you should make it as diverse as possible, or find your corner and...
Find your corner, find your angle, the right angle. So our USP is pop meets classic. But pop meets classic means already have a really wide range of repertoire. So in the repertoire of being pop music, rock music, and classical music, it's really ages are between. So you must. So when we play classical arrangements, we play it in a way that the pop audience understands our music. So we take a Mozart sonata and we make it in a swing feel with band. So we make an arrangement, a poppy way of arrangement, what the younger audience gets, but the older audience is not offended by our arrangements because they say, oh, that's really smart to do it this way. Wow, that's funny. That's funky how they play it. And so, but when I know that's the people, now, for example, we are invited to play a concert for people who have their golden marriage. And they are fans, but they want the romantic repertoire. Then we play the Bocellis, an aria, violin romance, without leaving ourselves or making a different USP. We say, hey, the customer, he's the most important person. He wants it this way, and we give him the romantic side of Guido's orchestra.
Yeah. So find your corner, but be an expert in every bit of your corner.
Yes, absolutely. Being in the right place at the right time, and also know exactly what your main quality is, and also see how the audience reacts. What do they love? And then see what they do. Marketing research. What do they think? It's great. What do they hate about the show? We always ask the people what they like, what they dislike.
So get feedback.
Yeah, get feedback, and it's everybody has feedback because it's an open profession.
Yeah.
And also now for Germany, I'm doing a lot of TV will in Germany next year. Doing shows also for 5.5 million of people are watching. I'm doing a course of German. I speak really much better German than English. But also I know I had many interviews on American TV. Just before I went to the American TV, I did a course. I was sharp. All the possible questions, all the possible answers were trained. So I exactly knew what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I always was in charge of the interview. So prepare always till the max. Be prepared, be fully prepared. And otherwise don't go on the field or don't go on the stage. It's like a boxing match. Never play a game what you don't know that you're in control.
Yeah.
And when we go now on stage, we take so much self-confidence on the stage that we know, I don't mind what audience it is, but we take over this hall.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have a business concert and all directors of Rabobank, for example, are sitting there. I play for all boards of all Rabobanks in the country, 1,500 people with all black suits and all severe decision makers, ties, and everybody's sitting with crossed arms there and don't want to move because it was a boring day. They had serious business discussions, and the board of Rambank was sitting first row, and there people start clapping when the boss is clapping. But we made a decision before the show. We take over this hall, and we took over this hall. It was an explosion of joy and everything. And the Rabobank boss came to me personally. Also, Minister Joop Heijn, who is now one of the chiefs of ABN AMRO, came to my dressing room. You really saved our day. And that's, but it's your decision. It's a choice to being successful or not. It's a choice. And it's not saying that you're successful, be successful. And how you can be successful, think successful, smell your success, see your success already. For example, Walt Disney, seeing your success. They asked the son of Walt Disney, is it not a shame that your father couldn't see anymore the beautiful parks? He said, oh, believe me, my father saw it already 10 times more than we saw it. That's vision.
Yeah.
You have to see your goal, you have to see your ambition, and then don't force it. Life will bring it you at the right time, on the right moment, and you always think that you're ready for the big success, but it always will come a little bit later.
Yeah.
So that's and then at one day the success is there, and it's because you created the success and you worked for the success, and also it's easy to be successful. Don't think it's hard, because then the universe will tell you that's hard.
Yeah.
Why is Robbie Williams facing so much success in his life? He thinks he's the best artist of the world. And then the audience says, Robbie, you're amazing. You're the best artist. And don't be arrogant. That's the wrong thing. But work on yourself. Always hesitate also if you're making the right decisions. Think really well about it. Practice well. And always doubt about your own level. And work about the level. When you go on stage, you know you're prepared. And you're prepared for 110% instead of 100%. And then when you're nervous, you don't need to be nervous because you are under 10%.
Yeah.
So, and then you can be yourself. You don't play a role in life, but you're yourself.
Yeah.
So don't play also a role as an entrepreneur, but be the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Be yourself. And when you take yourself to a business meeting, that's enough. Because you know you're prepared, you know you have a good heart as a person, and you know you're sitting there to make a big success of this meeting. And when the big success of this meeting means to tell the other party that you're not working with them because their proposals are good, that's also success for yourself.
Yeah.
So be really clear and set your boundaries really clear.
So clear boundaries.
Clear boundaries with your employees, but also with the people you're working. Tell them what you expect.
Yeah.
Tell them that you expect that they work also for A grades. Tell them to expect that they also need to be world class. That's be demanding.
Yeah.
But be demanding means, for example, when I watch my orchestra, to pray, give them a lot of praise, if that's the right word. Give them a lot of compliments. 50% compliments, 50% talk with them about group process, how you can be better, but not be 90% of the time negative to them and give them 10% compliments. That was the younger Guido who was doing this. But that you learn when you're older, help them, give them self-confidence. Say, hey, because you're so great, we're going to work on your level, because I think there's still more there.
Potential.
It's more potential. Your potential is enormous. I believe in your potential. Let's work together about this potential. That's the thing you have to learn.
And everything you say now, I feel that applies as much to yourself as the people you work with.
Yeah.
The things about not so much the praise, the clear boundaries, level. You say that's true? So
you mean exactly that it counts also for me, as it counts for the people.
For example, how you say be clear about what you want.
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
Clear about who, and
I went upstairs to Mirte. You met Mirte. She's my assistant. And last week we said, okay, we're doing so many things. We make 6 steps. This is important. This is important. This is important. This is important. And make 6 steps. And really, those are the main targets for the next weeks. And what do you think about it? But sometimes you have to be really, as a captain of a ship, tell the people what to do, because and then be open that they come and create suggestion, and then change your own reality. So who wants to grow must be how I tell this. Who wants to grow must dare to be inconsequent with his own reality. So it means that when you get a new point of view, what's better than your own point of view, that you change it and adapt it. So don't stick to your old way of thinking, because when you walk to the horizon, you always see that there is a new horizon. So it's the expansion of the qualities of people. It's endless. So don't think so limited that, oh, I'm young, I have to do it right now. You also can have a great invention when you're 50 years old or 80 years old. But when you think already, I'm getting old, my body and my brains don't work, then your body tells you, hey, your wish is my command. I don't produce anymore. So you see to smart business people in the USA, for example, who are still 80 years of running their companies. And that's also dangerous because they have to listen then also to the young people and give it to the next generation. But they're still active, and that's why they're still so great in their mind. So you are as young as you feel yourself, as you tell yourself.
Yeah. And as successful.
Yes, absolutely. But also know where your level is. So, for example, one of the mistakes I made in my life, I went too early to the USA. Because great people who are also the managers of U2 and Ennio Morricone, for example, they told me, hey, go to the USA. But to make this step, you need also to have 10 million extra on your bank account for what if scenario when something takes longer to take over the market. I got a record deal in the USA, I got a national TV deal in the USA. Everybody was telling me, hey, you're great, but nobody told me that instead of 1.5 million on my bank account, I needed 10 million. So you learn also a lot, that you always need to have a what if scenario in all business you're doing. And that's a thing I learned. And that's also when I'm working now with Australian partners, they should invest. I'm taking my intellectual property to Australia, I'm taking the show, they should invest. That's not the way what we are doing in Germany. We tell them, we come with a show, you invest.
Yeah.
And then you have less risk.
Yeah, dividing the risk.
And you have more control, because when people in their own home territory won't invest in your product, don't go.
Yeah, if they don't believe it.
They don't believe it.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good step, and also never invest in where there's such a big currency problem like US dollar and euros. That was also because I need to pay all my stuff in euros, so you can't earn money. You lose a lot of money. Yeah. But that's okay. That's the risk of the game, and you get much better, much smarter of it, and you know now for the next years that you're only making good deals.
Yeah.
So you need lessons.
And how do you suppose? I think I already know the answer, but if something goes incredibly wrong, because I see a lot of people that make very big mistakes and then they sort of give up on it, or they don't have the 10 million and they decide that it's all lost.
Yes, I didn't have 10 million. Also, you have to sometimes to fight and to go back. It's at one point it's where your ego takes over, that you say, hey, I can prove this, I will do it. It's because you feel your potential success in the market. That was my biggest mistake with America. I felt potential, I got A partners, but I got also wrong advice of partners, of managers in London who knew the business, but they knew it in the 90s and not in how the business is right now. So got wrong advice, and then you have to listen to yourself and also say, don't be Don Quixote fighting against windmills, but learn from it, take your defeat, learn from it, make your product better, and be back there one day when you have the 10 or 20 million on your bank account, and then you make an investment. Then you say, okay, instead of investing the 10 million, let partners invest, and be there also with 5 million spare money for yourself, but leave all the other monies for other territories or other investments, and then it's I think much better in balance. And because you are not depending then for the success there, then mostly the success happens. Because you're not chasing success, you are successful then. Because hey, when you have the mentality, hey, we see what happens, and you give everything you have, but when you don't depend for that success right there at that time, because hey, when it goes wrong, because we have still plan B, plan C, plan D. I still have a great company. I can play in Germany and the Netherlands, China, Australia. I'm not depending for the success in the USA, because your approach is different. If you don't have any fear of not succeeding there, and then mostly the success happens. It's also why we will be really successful in Germany, because I know it is successful. Partners are investing, and the company also will exist and flourish also without the success of Germany, but less rapid than it will be with success in Germany. But I know we're ready for the success, and you gain a lot of experience when you play in Toronto, or you play in New York, or Chicago, or Texas, when you see that people love your product. Maybe it wasn't commercially really successful in the USA, but I saw that they loved the product. And I saw later on that 50,000 Chinese people love the product. So we have a product that's really well produced for worldwide success. So sure, it will be successful in Germany. And we made a tryout last year, and it was really successful. We got great reviews, and the audience was standing on their feet. And they were whistling and giving our standing ovations. So you know it's right, and then you need to write partnerships and invite them to the shows that they see the audience, because seeing is believing. You always also make it clear that people can see your product.
Yeah.
So make a storyboard, or make a presentation, or make something even when the product is not in process yet. Make a great storyboard, or make a presentation. Make that they can sense the idea.
Would you suggest for any musician, any starting musician, to begin for themselves, to be in this way independent, and then learn to sense the market?
No, because 9 of the 10 musicians are working just with one part of the brain, the sensitive part and creative part, but they don't have any clue of being an entrepreneur. So I only would suggest to the 10% who have those qualities, or for the other 10% of the 90% who are willing to work. Work with or listen to managers who know it, or listen to production company like we are, and let them be managed. So there are companies who can manage really artists really fantastically. So they're there because many artists can't manage them. But that's also a role, I think, for the province of Limburg, to pick up the young talents and let them be managed really well, because they have no idea, no clue at all what to do or how to present themselves. I don't know why I'm still learning every day, but I know right now how to behave business wise, but in 10 years I'm much smarter than I'm right now, because there's no plan how to learn it, and there are only few people in business in Benelux who have international experience, because most of the musical entrepreneurs, they are just working in the Benelux, not in Germany, not in China, not in the USA. Just, I think, 4, 5, 6 acts, the whole Benelux, who are operating internationally. So go then exactly to the place where you meet those people. That's also important. I went to Cannes, to the biggest music industry fair. I went there. You have to subscribe with €1,000 to get the entrance. I went there, took a youth hotel, how you say, where you sleep with 12 people in a hostel, one floor in a hostel, and it was terrible. I call it Legionella Palace because it was really the most awful hotel I ever stayed. But I took my my tie, my jacket, and every morning it was at 8 o'clock. I was there at the fair, and to make it happen. And I got many contacts there, international contacts, and from one contact you get another contact, and so present yourself and be there at places where the decision makers join yourself. And I went to Shirley Kaagman, you probably know her. Shirley Kaagman was the first jury of Idols. She was head of the Dutch music industry. She was also there representing the Dutch music industry. I gave her a hand and told Miss Kaagman, you don't know me, but I'm Guido Dieteren. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm CEO of Guido's Orchestra. I'm there to rock and rock the world and be a world star together with my products. and she watched me and said, I'm now in meetings all day with important people, but then and then I have 15 minutes of your time, come and give me a presentation. And I had already everything prepared. I gave her a presentation and she introduced me to the right people.
Yeah.
So be there and be full self-confidence, and even when you know that you still have to make 10 steps. 10 years ago I thought I would take the world by storm, but now I'm really ready to take the world by territory. But you felt your potential, but you needed a road to learn your lessons.
Yeah.
But many people stop. Many people stop then in those 10 years. And just mentality is the biggest quality. Because you go 10 steps further than other people go. So never forget mentality, attitude. Always fight. And always do self-reflection. Where can I improve? Is this still a thing where my heart starts singing? So when I know that I don't like the thing I'm doing, I stop. Because how can you represent yourself when you're not in the right position to promote yourself?
Yeah.
People feel the partnership. Feel if they can believe you. It's a belly feeling.
Yeah.
They feel if they believe me or not. And last week I had a really nice meeting with some great banker, CEO, and he told me after the meeting, I'm your best ambassador right now. I'm your best ambassador. Your business plan is really perfect. I really believe you. Because I believe myself. And when I believe myself, he believes me too.
Yeah.
Even when he's asking me really difficult questions, already be prepared for those questions. So think already about the other side of the table, what they will ask me, what they want from me. And so you always think as a chess player. Think 10 steps ahead. Yeah.
I believe it's we're at 30 seconds.
Oh no, but just.
The last year's Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? What was your impression? What stood out to you?
Still many things need to be done for the students. Still many people, good questions. Also many people, the best quality is being enthusiastic about the thing you're doing. Then you have a lot of technical entrepreneurs there who in technical way know all the rules and the university is giving them. The things they are the things they know are learned details by the book, but the really way of learning entrepreneurship is doing it and being there in the market. Do small projects, organize small things, make it financial successful. And a lot of people don't know how to present themselves. When you present yourselves, you stand as a winner. Gosse Boxhoorn, who I know good, always tells the story of the Dutch judo Olympic champion Anton Geesink. When you want to be a winner, walk as a winner, dress as a winner, and just when I sit at the table, I won't sit just bent over like this. I won't sit also like this because then you also have the interest. I'm always bended towards the other side of the table, but always open for ideas, open for feedback, and always stand there as a winner. Know that you are a winner. Be a winner, and that's a way of thinking. And that doesn't mean that I'm never doubting about myself. I doubt all the time about if it is a great music arrangement and did I play really well. I'm giving myself everyday reflection, and when I know that everything what happened that day was the best I could and the best I could produce for that day, then I'm happy. Because you always go for an A, but you never reach the A. Because in your mind, the A is already in a different level than the A you're succeeding that day. So the A grade in your imagination is already 10 steps ahead of the real reality A from that moment. So I never played a perfect show, because there are always improvement points. And that's a balance of being happy with the level you are and improving the level for the next moment, for the next step. So never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
No.
All right, and I think we should conclude for now.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Nice, good questions. So and always telling the story reminds you about the things you really want again. Always makes you sharp again. And there was not one point I'm not doing in my life, and that's always good for reflection in an interview. To know that you're really doing anything, doing everything what there is for your career, and also for what's the most important, being happy. So really like the things you're doing. It's not important to earn 10,000 euros a month, 2,000 euros a month, or 2 million euros a month. It's the most important thing in life is do your duty, be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's being happy as a musician. And being happy as a musician on top quality means also that I want to earn a lot of money, because then I can make free choices. I can be totally free. That means also in a company that you don't want too much overhead costs. I don't want 50 people in the office. Why? I want to work with the 5 or 10 best people, and then hire other experts on other territories.
Yeah.
But don't make it stupid that you have the obligation to be responsible for other people who should be responsible for themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody should be responsible for their own lives. And everybody has a free way of choice. That's it's a universal law. Sure, in Western Europe, there's no dictator here who tells us who to choose, or which politics we should do, or which choices we can make. We have a free way of choice, and that's really great about being in the Netherlands. We can choose to be successful. We can choose to be happy. So what's stopping us? What's blocking us? Only our own ego.
Yeah.
So get your ego out of the way, and you need also your ego to present yourself. But just be easy, be relaxed. Dan lukt alles.
Dan lukt alles.
Ja.